Hey everyone, it's Epoch here, and welcome to my response video to this week's comic book cover challenge set by Alan at Comic Collector Geek. This week's theme is signed covers. There are special bonus points for if you have gold label CGC books, but I don't have any CGC books, so I won't be getting any of those. So to start off with, I'd like to make some honourable mentions. The first one is Alien Alamo, which is signed by Graham Nolan, the co-creator of Bane with Chuck Dixon. The reason this is an honourable mention is because I featured this cover in my sci-fi covers response video, and I'm trying not to repeat covers, so that's why this one's a special mention. And the same goes for Starlight Cats by Shane Davis. So this is signed by Shane Davis and his wife Yanzi Lim. Shane Davis of course did the art for Superman Year 1. This is like I say, featured in my sci-fi covers video, which is linked in the corner, so you can check that out if you want to find out more about this book. And before I forget, there's one more honourable mention, which is Plague the Miranda Chronicles #1. This was written by a guy I knew in college called Gary Chudleigh, and this was put out by a local publisher here, Blackheart Press. So I just wanted to feature this. He has some other cool comics and stuff coming up, so I'll put a link to his stuff in the description below if it's something you think you want to check out. So those were some honourable mentions. So let's take a look at the 10 covers I've picked out for the signed comic cover challenge. Coming in at number 10 is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer one-shot, Willow and Tara, One a Blessed Be, which was co-written by Amber Benson, the actress who played Tara. She visited one of my local comic book stores about the time this book came out. It was like 2002. So she signed this for me, and she also personalised it, so that was a nice little touch because I don't plan on ever selling it. So yeah, number 10, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Willow and Tara. And coming in at number 9 is another Buffy the Vampire Slayer one-shot. This time it's Lost and Found. This is a Dynamic Forces exclusive red foil cover. The QVC, which is a shopping network channel over here, used to do comics, believe it or not. So every so often we'd phone up and we'd order some cool signed comics. So this one's signed by the writer Fabian Nicasia. I've never known how to pronounce his name, so I'm sorry if I butchered that. But he's written lots of cool stuff. He did Generation X for a while and some of the other X titles. But this is his Buffy one shot signed by him. Limited to number 146 of 1500. So that's Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Lost and Found. Coming in at number 8 is Adventure Comics number 374. This is signed by Jim Shooter. He was the famous kind of editor at Marvel for a long time, but Jim Shooter began in comics writing for DC at quite a young age, and this is one of the Silver Age books that he wrote. So that's Adventure Comics number 374. We got this signed at MCM London convention a few years ago. Next up is another signed Dynamic Forces comic I picked up from QVC back in the day. This one's signed by Frank Thierry. It's number 831 of 5000. It's just I think it's just the normal cover for this issue, but like I say, signed by Frank Thierry, who was writing the book at the time. Next up is The Girl in the Bay #1. This is signed by the writer J.M. DeMatteis. He was at a convention in Scotland a few years ago, which I got him to sign again. They personalised this one, which is a lot of fun. I thought it'd be interesting to get one of his more recent books signed that I enjoyed, rather than a SpiderMan. I imagine he gets asked to sign SpiderMan all the time, but I just thought it'd be fun to get The Girl in the Bay #1 signed. And this is a fun little mini-series from Dark Horse, so it's worth checking out. Next up is Spider-Man and the Black Cat, The Evil That Men Do #1. This is another Dynamic Forces signed copy bought from QVC back in the day. This one's signed by Terry Dodson and Rachel Dodson. It's a wonderful cover. I've always been a fan of this book, and it's fantastic to have it signed. Coming in at number 4 is Iron Man number 225. This is the first part of Armor Wars. This is signed by Bob Layton, and this is during his second run with David Michelinie. But yeah, I met Bob at again a Scotland convention. It was MCM Scotland quite a few years ago. I think there's a panel on my channel, so if you have a research on there, you might be able to find that and have a look and see what he was saying. But yeah, this is Iron Man number 225, signed by Bob Layton. Next up at number 3 is Tales of the Teen Titans number 44. This is the first appearance of Dick Grayson as Nightwing, and this is signed by George Perez, who was drawing the book at the time. Again, fantastic artwork. Got this signed at MCM London a few years ago. George Perez. Tales of the Teen Titans number 44. Coming in at number 2, we have She, Way of the Warrior #1, 25th Anniversary Fan Edition. This is signed by the creator of She, Billy Tucci. And the cover, again, drawn by Billy Tucci and is a homage to Amazing Spider-Man number 300 by Todd McFarlane. I have quite a few Billy Tucci signatures now, just for all the different campaigns he's had on Indiegogo for She and other works, but I just thought I'd show off this issue, the She Way of the Warrior number 1 25th anniversary edition in the style of Amazing Spider-Man 300 by Todd McFarlane, signed by Billy Tucci himself. My number 1 pick, I have chosen the Harley Quinn 25th anniversary special. This is signed by both Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor. Got this signed again at London in 2018, the MCM Con there. Amanda Connor is one of my favourite artists. I've been collecting her books for years. Jimmy Palmiotti is pretty good too, good writer, good artist too, and a good power couple in comics. So this is one of my favourite signed comics, and that's Harley Quinn 25th anniversary special, signed by both Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor. So those were my picks for this week's comic cover challenge set by Alan at Comic Collector Geek. Again, the theme was signed covers, and if you'd like to take part, then certainly shoot a video and put in your title, the hashtag signed comics, and everyone in the community will be able to check them out and see what different covers you have. And if you'd like to check out some of my previous entries into the challenge, then they'll be either linked above or linked at the side here, just whichever. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks, bye.